Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to our midweek edition of Talking Non-League with me, your host, Martin. Welcome in. We are here to take you into the weekend, really. We're just over that hump period. Well, we will be after we wake up tomorrow morning. And we're on to the weekend. We are on to the weekend's action. SIL, Thurlow Nunn. Seg is here with the Thurlow. Dan is here with the SIL. They've both picked out some cracking fixtures to talk about. That's coming up this weekend. Really exciting. I've got a couple of things myself. And, of course, we've got Sean, Devon LC Reserve Manager, on the show with us to talk all things SIL with Dan. And I'm sure the Hammer will bring a few questions to the party as well. So, without further ado, let's welcome in, first and foremost, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Thomas Seggons. Thomas, how you doing?
Not too bad, thanks. Yourself?
Not too bad. I've just been getting into TikTok recently.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't.
Yes.
I don't care. I'm younger than you, and I don't care.
Mate, I looked at it one day and I was like, how does anyone look at TikTok without, there must be some sort of psychopath to be. And then suddenly I find myself every time I sit down, oh, they look at TikTok. And so I'm slowly trying to get down, I tell you what though, I almost opened the show with this viral thing that's going on at the moment. It's Patrick Clover. I sniggered to him, like, no, you won't get it, but trust me. See, you're missing out on all the viral things.
Nah, it's all right.
Although,
I don't mind.
Technically, in a pandemic, maybe missing out on a viral thing isn't the worst thing in the world, maybe. I don't know. So what have you been up to this week?
Well, I'm self-isolating, so not a lot. By the way, before we carry on, if anyone's got any series or anything to suggest, recommend for me to watch.
The Sopranos.
Yeah, because I don't know what to watch at the moment.
That might be a little bit too much for you. I mean, we'll bring Dan in at this point, because Dan, we are talking about Seg here, who's Mr. Vanilla, but The Sopranos might be a little bit too much for Seg.
Yeah, definitely. I've been obviously I'll give him a few more series, but I don't want to say it on the show. So, it might be a bit too over 18 for him. So,
to be fair, I've still got the last episode of Game of Thrones to catch up on, but I just don't want to do it.
Don't bother.
Yeah,
don't bother.
Yeah. Breaking Bad's the one for me.
I've seen it all.
Never seen it.
Peaky Blinders.
Mind, I still got to watch the film that they did last year, didn't they? It was a year ago now.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I could watch that.
It's not as good, but yeah, Peaky Blinders as well.
No, I know as a town fan, Seg, you're used to disappointment, but Game of Thrones, the ending of that was a completely whole new level of disappointment. So
I've read stuff, heard stuff. I'm not going to go there.
Don't do it.
I could just watch Spartacus again, to be honest. Have you seen Spartacus before?
300. Now that's a show. That's a show and a half, or a film and a half. Anyway, on to local football. Dan's picked out some fixtures. Seg, you picked out some fixtures. Obviously, we had some results from last night. While we wait for Sean to join us, Seg, do you want to talk through some of the results from last night, and we can look at what that means for the Thurlow table?
Well, let's just find them quickly.
Seg. Dan, look at this.
I had my notes up on for this weekend. That's what I had now. Obviously, Witton lost 4-1 to Brampton. Wroxham lost 2-1 to Swaffham. Marchtown beat Hexton 4-0. Last time I checked, Hadley 2-2 with Long Melford.
Yeah, Long Melford are in 18th on 4 points, so they need a result, really, you'd think.
Yeah,
especially
and
2-2.
My Ensign, who I spoke to on Sunday, 2-0 down, to come back to 2-2 at half-time. So,
I mean, you can still collectively say we.
Well,
but, it is a we thing. It's not a me thing or an I thing. It's a we thing. Well, it's actually an I thing, but I mean, we'll go with the we thing. Dan, we won't talk about the weekend that was just gone for you.
I don't mind. I don't mind about it. Is what it is.
Oh, is it Bird Box? Is that a film?
That's random.
No, I'm just thinking about things that you don't see or don't hear. I'm sure that's a film. Yeah, Bird Box, 2018 film. See that? Now that's supposed to be a very interesting film. It's a post-apocalyptic, I can't even say the word, horror film, basically. You must have seen. I think it went viral, didn't it? That meme where she's in a boat and she's blindfolded and she's like looking around. Oh, I'll get you the clip anyway. Sean is here, thankfully, saving my blushes. It is past my bedtime. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Dan and Thomas. But Sean, welcome in. We're pleased to have you here.
Evening, guys.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good. Tie yourself.
Yeah, I mean, your hair's getting shorter and shorter, mate.
That's why stress from
How you doing anyway?
Yeah, doing all right, Tom.
Yeah, training tonight?
Yeah, it was last night. So
Yeah.
Tuesday night we did training.
How did that go?
Yeah, it was a good session to be fair. Just went on a few issues from previous weeks and getting set for Saturday to be fair. So
yeah.
hopefully we'll get it right and 3 more points on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I've known you quite well in the previous footballing career. We've obviously been together. We've nearly been together again. We've come against each other. Just obviously give the people your career at the moment. Obviously, so far, where you've been, who you've managed, and obviously where you are now.
I started my career at Cedars Park about 5-6 years ago. I was there for a couple of years, and then unfortunately folded, as most people know. But yeah, for the first year I was there, we won promotion from C to B. That was quite a good start. Second season was a bit rope. Well, I finished mid-table, was quite a good finish to be fair. Then the third year, I think we could have done well in B, but then unfortunately we folded. I moved on to Falcons, sub and reserves, helped them. Well, they won promotion as well from C to B, so that's quite good. And then last season I was Hawley. I was there with reserves, be like coach, and I was manager, and I was coach again. And then Devlin came up, and I went for it and got the role. So that's quite well.
Yeah, obviously Debenham was reserves of being a new team at the start of the season. How did you obviously get a reserve team together? Because obviously it must have been hard to obviously get the players in. Obviously, I've found it sometimes hard to get players in wherever I go. For a reserve team starting off afresh, obviously, do you get the help from the first team? A few players coming down, or was it a brand new outset and new players?
It was actually brand new. Like at the time before COVID started lockdown, I had like a squad of like 19, 20 names, and then as you know, you get players say they agree to come across, and then about maybe 10, 12 said no, I'm going to stay at this club or go to this club. So at the start we struggled big time. And then Dave came in, my assistant, or one of our assistants, and he brought in 5 of his fan boys from the Sunday team to help us get going, and we signed some vet players. And a bit slow at the start, then we picked up. The local area got like guys from Devon heard about it, and they've gone from having like bare 11 to 25, 24 players signed on.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit of a ropey start. We got there in the end, and now I've got too many players, and just leave out 6 or 7 each week. It's not an easy job, as you know.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously we played you in a pre-season friendly. Obviously, we drew 2-2 with you. To be fair, I think we should have beat you. To be fair, but obviously you can see that you're building a good team, youngsters as well. Obviously, and it looks like you're going at the right passage now. Obviously, with the players you have. There's some breaking news this week. Obviously, Mark Watts has joined you as assistant manager from Stowmarket Town. A. Obviously, it's never too nice. Obviously, see a manager leave a team, but obviously for him to come back in probably 2 weeks later and help you. What was the decision for you to obviously bring him in and so what did he say?
I know he's been at Grams Reserves done a good job. And then last year he was with Stowmarket A's and did 4. So his knowledge is key for this year. So everyone we play against this year, who we're going to play against, he's played against them home and away. He knows their strengths, their weaknesses, and to be fair, for us to do well this year and go for promotion or win the league, that's crucial. Because I don't know some of the teams I don't know about, and he does, and it'll give it a little bit of advantage, I think, like their formation or their best players. He's quite good at that sort of knowledge, and he does his homework. And so do I, to be fair. We look at team sheets and who's been scoring the goals. If everyone drops down, that's what, as you know, that happens. Like first team into the other game, they come down, and just a little bit of knowledge and pair of hands and eyes on the sidelines to help us to achieve what we need to do this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously from what I was hearing, obviously I think you were sad to leave Stowmarket Town, but I don't think the players were there helping him out. I think obviously moving to Devon was the right direction for him. especially it's a massive club at Debenham, and obviously working with yourself and working with Guy as well. It's going to be massive for him. So obviously it's a great signing for you boys. So hopefully you'll do well and give you the right instructions for game day and the right players to give to you. The ambitions for your season. Obviously, at the moment you're sitting quite well. And what are you looking to do for the rest of the season if it goes obviously all the way to the end of the season?
Well, promotion's the aim. The club not said there's no targets for us, but just because that's our first year, do the best we can. We're starting quite well, to be fair, 2 out of 2. Obviously, Bilson lost points, just give a bit of advantage or a bit of upper hand. And then Colin lost their first game on Saturday. So then maybe if we get another one this week, that's 9 out of 9 points. And I think we're in the hunt, to be fair, for even challenge for the title or promotion. That's sort of the aim. But if we can win the league, then we'll go for it. That's the bonus.
I mean, unfortunately for you, Division 4 is quite light with teams. Obviously, I think you've missed 2 or 3 weeks, and obviously that hasn't helped you as well. But obviously, hope with you missing them games, you should be obviously playing throughout the whole season. Fingers crossed. So not missing many games. Working under Guy is probably is somewhere where he's a great manager. You can learn a lot from him. What have you obviously spoke to him about, and what has he told you where he wants you to expect with players coming up, or is he still looking at your players, or is he not at the moment?
I've got my ideas, obviously, with reserve size. The young guys, we've got quite a few young guys who can hopefully progress into the first team. They've made a couple of good signings in the last couple of weeks, giving a bit more strength and depth. I think this year, the main thing is to get reserves going, and then maybe after Christmas time and this pandemic is a bit more, eased off, we can start looking to push players on. Want the players to do it. I've got loads of good mixture of young who can push on and be fairly keen. They train regularly onto the first team football.
Have you had any come through yet to play for Debenham first team?
Yeah, a couple at the start. Callum Coote's played a couple of games, and young Jack as well. Jake, he's 17. He's played 2-3 games. I think he scored in his debut for the first team in the friendly, so that's pretty good start.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, definitely good if you're obviously included in the first team, let alone scoring a goal for the first team. So
it's a good experience for him. That's what it's all about. From Div 4 to third on first division is a big step up, and it's all. So for especially the young guys like Jake, that's good experience for him to get under his belt and to push on either this year or to next year.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a few obviously fixtures we can go through in a sec. I'm not sure if Seggons has got any questions you want to ask you. Obviously, being a Fram boy that he loves, and wants to get any details about Debenham or anything they can pass on. Seggons, have you got any questions you want to ask, mate?
I've got one. I was going to say, how different or how difficult is it this year compared to years in the past? You've got the COVID threat potentially threatening games. So and you've got the weather as well now. How do you prepare for games like this year compared to other years?
Well, this year availability's been really good. The previous clubs have been struggling for availability, so that's another bonus. To be fair, just playing as normal, we train on the Tuesday night, go through Italy for Saturday. Also, the boys, they paid a bit extra for Thursday night for a bit of fitness. They're constantly playing, especially we haven't played the last 3-4 weeks. They're playing football Tuesday and Thursday nights. They're staying fit and fresh. And to be fair, I'll keep normal plan, to be fair. Team text out on a Monday, get the team sorted Thursday night, plan on a Friday, starting at 11, and what we're going to do. And if it changes through COVID or the weather, then that's it, to be fair. So
that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, so just stay the same routine each week, to be fair. I always keep the same routine, and so far it's worked, and don't need to change it just yet. Hopefully not.
Hey, yeah.
I think obviously, as managers for ourselves, I think we find that because the COVID's lurking around, that a lot of players are making themselves available because they want to play, because you don't know when it's going to finish. So a lot of the players always wanted to play because it could be the last week that of football. So it's good to have that availability, but it's also a headache because you don't want to drop any players, you don't want to lose any players, but you can only name 5 on the bench. And it's a constant battle to keep the players involved if you can. And obviously, I think Sean's had that already. So I've had it a few times. So it's hard. It's hard as a manager, to be fair, to keep everyone involved. It's easy to watch a game on the sideline, but the work that goes behind football clubs is stressful at times. So we've known that at Cedars Park as well. When we used to share each other, Sean used to be the reserve, so I used to be the A-team manager. It's just a constant battle. It's good. It's good that obviously, you've gone to a club like Debenham to carry on your career. I think Debenham's, it's had a shaky start in the furlough, but they're gradually getting results. I think ever since Seggs talked to Guy, I think it's just gone a bit wrong for him. But he hasn't done an inspirational video yet. If you want one of them, by the way, he's got them available to you if you want one. And you can always say no if you want to. So we're going to go from fixtures into the SIL now. Sean, you can help us out as well if you want to. So the Senior Cup weekend this week. So there's some tasty fixtures. Seggs choose one of mine, so I've had to choose something else.
You chose one of mine.
So we'll go through the leagues and just what your thoughts about the games, what you've seen from them already from looking at the SIL, and what your thoughts could be. So my first game was Halesworth versus Old Newton in the Senior Cup. I think that's going to be a massive game for them. Old Newton lost Saturday against Bilderston, so Halesworth are still going strong. I think that's going to be a tasty Senior Cup game, to be fair. What do you think, Sean?
Oh, definitely. Recker's is a great manager. He's got a great setup at Old Newton, so they always bounce back from poor results. They always come back fighting the next week. And Halesworth have been unbelievable this year. They really well last year, and that form's carried on this year in the senior. I think they're first, they're top or second.
Second.
Oh yeah. I thought the boys are top. That's what I mean. That could go all the way, but potential penalties or be a tight game for sure.
But
it's had a draw, to be fair.
Yeah, I just understand. Obviously, with the Senior Cups, it's a 2:30 kickoff.
Same as us Saturday. Yeah.
Normally the cup games are half an hour earlier because penalties and the light now is getting darker now. So which I thought was strange, to be fair. But I've also gone for Leiston versus Westerfield. I think that's a massive game for both teams. Leiston in the league have only won one game. Westerfield are going to come off a result last week against Claydon. They want to try and rectify what happened last week. And it's a tough game, but I feel that Westerfield will probably pinch it, to be fair. Because of the players they've got, and what Potsy's done in Westerfield already. So I think Westerfield will do them. I think
I can tell he's already got that. He's already got the players pumping for it. Passion.
He when you've gone to a result from that on Saturday, you want to then go into this is probably the right fixture for him to play against. It's a cup game. You're playing against a team that have lost, only won one game. So, I think Potsy, as Martin would say, I think he's going to run through the wall with him. Yeah. Did you agree with that as well, Westerfield, Sean?
I'll probably go for Leiston, to be fair. But their first win on Saturday, so they should be buzzing from that first win. And a cup competition, form was out the window for the league, so they can do well in the league, in the cup side, and they can push hard up with their league form. So I reckon there's a good opportunity for them to, win 2 weeks in a row and kick on this season. Good start for them to climb up the league. So
definitely. Division 1, I've gone for Tattenstone versus Sporting 87. I think that's probably definitely the fixture of the weekend. Tattenstone lost the last two, and Sporting 87 are on a real good run at the moment. And I think Tattenstone will want to get some points on the board again, because obviously they're one of the teams that we talked about all season. For them to lose two games in a trot, they need to get back into winning ways. That's a tough one for me. I really couldn't give a scoreline for that. Or I'd like to say Tattenstone, but Sporting and no pushovers.
Yeah, I found this Sporting, to be fair. They've always been up there every year, but unfortunately they're not crossed that line, have they, yet to jump into the senior. But got great facilities, got a great manager, the pitch is nice, got good players, and this is the year, to be fair, to finally cross that line to be promoted to the senior.
I mean, both of these teams could get promoted. Really, they're both good outfits. I think.
Definitely.
So hopefully, well, I mean, it's a tough one to be fair. We couldn't really call that one. But yeah, Division 2, Rob versus Elmswell. Bramford Head Old Boys versus Elmswell. Elmswell lost last week, was a shock. And Bramford Head Old Boys are again on a 2-winning run again. That's another tasty affair. So so many fixtures this week that could be game of the week. But I think Elmswell will probably beat Bramford Head Old Boys, because I think the strength they've got. To be fair.
Well, Elmswell, like us, to be fair, they've only played 2 games. They played maybe 4 weeks ago. So many weeks off. It's hard to get going again. Like, teams have been playing week after week after week, so they've got consistency, the form, they're fresh, and so it's hard for them. And obviously, last week they got a shock defeat, but then they're not played for a good couple of weeks. So then maybe they're playing again this week and they can push on. I think they'll get the win, to be fair.
Yeah, Elmswell.
Elmswell. Yeah, I agree with Elmswell, to be fair.
Yeah. Division 3, Unity FC versus Bramford United. Bramford United have been talked about all season, but if you look at their last couple of results, they've not won 8, 9, 10-0. They've won 2-0, 4-0. So their teams are starting to, challenge Bramford for the 90 minutes, and Unity is obviously a new team in the league as well. I've heard things about them that they're pretty good. So I think that will be a good fixture as well. I know you'll probably go for a Bramford win.
Yeah, I know James quite well, the manager at Bramford, and look at the players they've signed. That team's incredible. I shouldn't be in that division, as people should know. They should be like at least Div 1 or Div 2, but yeah, I think Bramford will win that game.
I think, to be fair, if we done an accumulator, I think Bramford will be the first team on the accumulator every week.
Yeah, definitely.
Division 4, AFC Kesgrave versus Debenham Reserves. I mean, you look at the fixture itself. AFC Kesgrave are doing quite well as well. And again, you look at to see if the reserves and the first team are playing. I don't know if you've done your homework to see if they are playing.
Yeah, they are playing. Yeah, I did check. Yeah, so it's all good.
So yeah, we all, as I said, managers always have to check. I mean, that's going to be a real tough one for you boys, especially having a week off last week. And any team that will play Debenham will want to try and win, because of the name itself. So,
definitely. Well, they've drawn the last 3 games on a trot, so that's hard to sort of see what they're like. Really, they're not losing, not winning. So 3 draws and a bounce is consistency, I suppose.
Yeah.
You look at our form we've won 2 games, but we've been behind at half time. So we always come from behind to win games. That shows our character. But hopefully this week we can be winning at half time and take the game to them. And I think, the squad's good. Everyone's fit. Everyone's happy. They're enjoying it. Like I say, they train 2 nights a week, Tuesday and Thursday. The majority of the core are available, so that's quite good. Well, if we play how we have been playing, we should be okay. To be fair, we'll get a good result and we can push on to next week. And after the week after, we've got another week's break, and then who knows with the weather.
It's mad.
But yeah, I think I'm confident to get the win. It's obviously a bit arrogant, but I think we should get the win.
Yeah, well, you'd want the win. Obviously, you wouldn't want to. I mean, the boys, if you turn around and say, "Yeah, we're going to draw," I think the boys would probably be on your back. And I don't know how you can get away with 2 weeks training. I think my missus would kill me if it was 2 days training in the week. It would kill me. I don't know how you can get away with that.
Tuesday's the main one as of the club, and the Thursday the boys they pay a couple of quid and they train or do a little game and keep fit and keep their morale up and socialise. But yeah, I'll just do it Tuesday. That's the main one for me. Just put whatever we do. Get the issue sorted out in the training. We're playing for the Saturday, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Segs, you got anything else?
Not that I can think of. I think you've covered it all. No.
Yeah. Well, look, it's obviously been good for you to come on, especially with the reserves picking up the assistant manager as well. I think we've got you in a good week. I mean, we wish you all the best for the season. Hopefully you'll get promoted, and hopefully we'll see you in pre-season again for another friendly down the blue circle, the rowdy lot.
Oh yeah, on the carpet would be nice.
yeah. Well, fingers crossed. But yeah, thanks a lot for obviously taking your time out to come and speak to us. Appreciate it, and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I'll be in the chat. I'll be commenting away as usual.
All right, mate. Nice one. Appreciate it. Cheers, pal.
Nice chat there, guys.
Yeah.
Good chat. I enjoyed that.
Yes.
I've been busy score hunting, and as you can see, they're on the bottom. Leiston reserves, Needham Market reserves. I know Needham Market are friends of the show. Full time, that's finished. I have also been goal hunting, and I will just play this. It's a penalty out of today's one of today's games. It is Brimsdown going 2-1 up. So
that result's annoying me because we had Ensign on here. Normally when they come on the show.
I saw your face when I put it up. You did almost curse live on the show.
I did, yeah.
You nearly broke that image you've got of yourself. But here is the penalty. Don't save those. No, you ain't saving that. No, even Dicko's not saving that.
I don't know, Dicko. Yeah, well, I don't think.
Really? I mean, it's hit the stanchion, Dan.
That's too quick for Dicko. He wouldn't have moved off the line. They would have been standing. He'd been glued to the middle of the goal.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. I'll keep my eye on Long Melford and Leiston. Not Leiston. Long Melford and White Ensign as we go through this next part. Obviously, onto the Thurlow Nunn. Seg, what have you got for us? I've got a couple of fixtures. I've also going to just highlight if it's not on your list. But what have you got for us, Seg?
First things first. I noticed today, Alex, going back to Debenham, Alex said today he's doing November, and I challenged him if they go unbeaten during November, he's got to keep it. So I don't know if he's seen it on Twitter. I don't know if he's.
I mean, it's a good job you're not doing it because it'd take you years.
Yeah, it took 3 years. Yeah, I know.
What do you mean he's not doing it? He's doing it. He started it 15 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's good. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, I'm all for rituals and luck. So, like yesterday, for example, did the match day ticket for Ipswich Town. I wore a Town shirt. We won. So, Saturday, I'll wear a Town shirt. And I'll keep wearing a Town shirt until we lose. So, I think you're right there. If they go unbeaten. Well, yeah, last week. But, as you say about Debenham, if they go unbeaten through the month of November, then you've got to keep it until,
Yeah, got to keep it until they lose. Yeah.
And if you go on an Arsenal Invincible run, you're in trouble. You'll look like
who was that? What team?
The Arsenal Invincibles. You should know them, Dan. 'Cause I think they won the title at Old Trafford.
No, don't remember them, mate.
No. Oh, okay, great team.
I've got lots of memory sometimes.
As a United fan, you probably best you do. Actually, the point. Last night in the match day ticket chat, you were on there saying about how Town fans are always upset with their manager. I thought at the time that's a bit rich, isn't it?
No, they're never upset with me. I mean,
No, I meant United fans upset with their manager.
Yeah,
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's at the wheel, broken the wheel, smashed the wheel more times than I've lost track. Anyway, Thurlow, let's go, Seg. What you got for us?
So I went from the Premier. I went for Kirkley and Pakefield versus Stowmarket. Obviously, Kirkley and Pakefield lost to Woodbridge last week, which ties into the second game that I chose for from the Premier. So obviously they're going to want to bounce back from that. But it's a big tie against Stowmarket, who fought back against Mildenhall last week. They're still unbeaten. It's 39 games now. Big game to bounce back again. I think I'll go for a Stowmarket win there.
One of 6 Premier Division ties this weekend.
Yeah.
Only
And
6.
the other game went for Swaffham Town versus Woodbridge. Because obviously Woodbridge won last weekend, so they'll be want to keep that momentum going. Push themselves up the table. And, I think Swaffham are like mid-table, aren't they? So
Swaffham are in 13th, 10 points.
Yeah.
Woodbridge are on 5 points. So obviously a win would start to claw back that. But, if Swaffham win, I know there's some games in hand, and obviously like Woodbridge have got 2 back on Swaffham. But there's a little bit of a gap starting to open up at the bottom of the table in terms of... It's okay having games in hand, Dan, isn't it, as a manager?
Yeah.
But you also want to have points on the board.
You have to win the games. If you've got games in hand, you have to, because you're just going to lose track and you're just going to be so far behind.
And also, surely, if you've got games in hand but you're not winning, the confidence isn't there. So, you want to pick up momentum, and then with the games in hand you've got, and you've probably got breaks as well, it's not going to help you.
It works twofold, doesn't it? And different managers. I bet if we'd asked Sean, he would have said a different, or probably a different reply to me or to Dan or to you, Thomas. What would you prefer, Dan? Would you if I give you an option, you could have points on the board, and I'm not saying you'd have good points, but just points on the board and equal games, or you had games in hand and the chance to obviously bridge a gap.
I'd probably have points on the board. Again, we're talking about this season. We're talking about if it could finish, it could stop.
True, yeah.
So if you're going to play points per game, then you'd want to have the points on the board. So
Definitely.
But yeah, I'll definitely go points over.
Would that apply, just changing it slightly, would that apply for your top as well? So say you're top, you've got your 5.
It's that microwave internet again, Seg.
It's KFC internet.
You sort yourself out there, Thomas, and come back to us. When you start waving in the VIP section, I'll bring you back in. Before he does, I'll just mention he's moving. He's moving. Here he is. Sort the microwave out, Seg.
You can stay
there. No, you're okay. You're okay. Don't worry. So I think you're going to ask, would it be the same thing if Dan was top of the table? Is that right?
Yeah. So if you're top of the table, would you rather have points on the board, or would you? Obviously, you would. But say you're 5 points ahead of the team in second, but they had 2 games in hand on you. Would you rather be the team in second, or?
Depends how many points you're ahead at the top. So if you won every game, then you've got no worries. But if if you're only 3 points behind a team that has 2 games more than you to play, then so I would depending on the gap. But
Seg, you got any more Premier Division ties?
No, they're the only 2.
Okay, I have. I'd like to draw attention to Thetford Town are playing Brantham Athletic on the 31st this Saturday. Thetford are currently obviously bottom of the table, played 83 points, only won 1 game all season, and Brantham are currently sitting in 4th, played 18 points. So both teams will be looking for a win, but for completely different reasons. Kick off 3 o'clock, obviously at Munford Road. So if you're around the Thetford area, get yourself down to there. That'll be a really good tie, I think. Either way, with both teams not looking to just come and get a point or whatever, they'll both be looking for the 3 points. And if you're like me, missing your local football, missing your live football, get yourself down to there if you're around the Thetford area. I've got a Division 1 team as well I'm going to highlight in a second. But Seg, over to you again.
I've gone for the Vase game, Norwich United versus White Ensign. We had Brett on here Sunday, and he was saying how, it's David versus Goliath. Their shoes on the other foot for them this week as well, even though they're losing tonight, I know. But it's interesting to see how it goes. Norwich United unbeaten, so interesting to see what White Ensign can do there. And that's
Score update.
3-3, that'll be drawing in. So
No, 3-3. So that's an equaliser. I've got the goal here. I'll try and get it for you as you highlight another fixtures, Seg.
I was going to say that's at Blowfield, but I think it's 3 o'clock. I have got the details here. 1 sec.
Yeah, it'll be 3 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you gone for Framlingham Town this week, Segan?
I have, yeah.
You have?
Like I say, it's kickoffs at 3 o'clock at Blowfield, so £8 to get in for adults, £4 concession. So if you fancy a Vase game, sounds like that could be a good game.
Yeah. And you've got to have a cup game, right, Dan?
Yeah, definitely. Love a cup run.
Potential giant killing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, everyone loves a cup run.
Oh,
everyone loves a cup run.
What about this year, though?
Sorry.
What about this year, though?
Take one game as you can at a time, can't you?
Yeah, but are they kind of getting in the way this year, though, with the fixture clog list?
Yes and no. I mean, everyone wants to take a break from the league sometimes and play the players that don't really get like a full run out at 90 minutes. You know, the games to be used as to have a look at other players. Yeah. I mean, it's always good to come away from the league. It takes less pressure off you as well, especially if you're sitting top, because you wanna just do well in the cup as well as the league. And then everyone wants to beat you. That's the thing.
It's a catch-22, isn't it, Dan? Because at the moment you've got a lot of players wanting to play. So it's good in that respect because you've got players wanting to play, so you want to play them. But equally, as you say, you don't want that fixture congestion, do you?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I've got the goal here, but I'll show the goal just after you tell us about Framlingham Town and Achilles, Tom.
Okay, yeah, so that's in the Suffolk Senior Cup. I went for this not because it's because of Fran, but when
Yes,
it's not. When I looked at this fixture, I'll get shouted at by Dean. I feel like an upset's on the cards here. I read the fixture and I kind of thought.
What you mean Fram Town might win?
No, I don't know. When I read it, I just thought, I don't know. There's something about that fixture just screams upset to me.
Well, I've picked it out as well. So there must be, because we're both on the same wavelength there.
I mean, the fact that Dean Cooper left last weekend as well after we interviewed him. Perhaps we jinxed it. I don't know. But
that's your fault.
Probably. It's Dan's fault. It doesn't normally happen when I interview players.
I mean, to be fair, obviously, speaking to Dean after obviously the game, there's more to worry about than football. As it's come across this week, and you could see a lot of pressure was being put on him. And I think the Cranes game just said it all. If you've watched the game from Cranes Sports that took the video, you could see that there was a lot of players that just were strolling around, and Dean's a passionate lad, as you could say on the video live last week. But I mean, to him, football's the least to worry about at the moment. Family's more. For him at the moment, and obviously his health as well. So, we wish him well, and hopefully keep in touch, and hopefully be at a football club soon.
Absolutely. And even though he's not a manager of a club, he's still more than welcome on the show anytime he wants. It was a real pleasure having him on last week. Right, let's just have a quick look at this White Ensign equaliser, shall we? Courtesy of the White Ensign FC Twitter account. Let's have a quick butchers at it. Let's see what I rate it out of 10. Flares, pyros, there's a lot going off there, isn't there? What do you think of that one?
Woo!
Have you got Chris Kamara there tonight? Have you?
I don't know, Jeff. No, I'm browsing the Twitter pages, and I thought we'll show that. That's quite a nice finish, to be fair.
Yeah, it looks a tasty game, to be fair.
It does. 3-3, all to play for.
I mean, after that, I could take 3 points off that, surely.
Yeah, well, it's a big game, isn't it? White Ensign in second.
Seggons is hoping that they do.
Brimsdown, though. Brimsdown at bottom. And they're fighting.
That's what I was going to say. From the south, I chose Little Oakley versus Brimsdown. Like before tonight, that was top versus bottom. So if they go and draw, that takes them off bottom, doesn't it? And then obviously they'll be relishing Little Oakley if they can get a result against White Ensign, surely.
Absolutely, yeah. Long Melford FC's Twitter account just reporting that Griff hits the post, still 2-2. So there's been a post hit at Stony Island. Talk to me then about these last fixtures as we round up the show. What have you got left?
So obviously just did a little Oakley and Henley versus Cornard in the Suffolk Senior Cup. Cornard struggling in the Framlingham North, and obviously Henley a decent little team in the SIL. Could be a bit of a struggle for Cornard potentially.
Yeah, Henley are a great little side. In ninth, 9 points from 4. They'll be wanting a little bit more than that at the moment when they're down. Do we like dying the cup up?
Yeah, I mean, to go to Henley being at home as well gives them an advantage straight away. But Cornard will need to win to boost their confidence up. But going to Henley's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. So, the other tasty one is Haverhill versus Copperstonians. I think that's a massive one as well. That's a huge one. Copperstonians obviously losing in the final against Ipswich Wanderers of the same cup about a month ago of last season's cup. Now playing in this first round of the Senior Cup this season. So just a bit strange for them at the moment, but that's a massive one as well. But I'll probably say Henley win as well. I think Tony will be there, like with his like COVID jacket on and cheering the boys on.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, there's a number of fixtures. I'm looking through the SIL website now, and I'm just looking at it and thinking there's a, AFC Kesgrave obviously I picked out on my teams trending up last week. They're playing Stanton in Division 1, and Stanton are just above them, a point but 2 games in hand. That's, if you're AFC Kesgrave, that's you don't want to say must win, but you don't want to concede points to a team that's above you and has game in hands on you, do you? You want to keep pace if you can, and build off a good week last week. That's in Division 1, obviously Division 2. If you look into Division 2, there's a number of decent fixtures. Melton have got Thurston. A number of good fixtures. It's going to be a really good weekend of sport. So if you are around in the East Anglia region, the Ipswich region, the Suffolk region, good fixtures are going on. And of course, we can't depart without that man there, Mr. Dan, Claydon FC A. Who have you got?
We've got East Burgolt away. East Burgolt A away.
Is that league action?
Yeah, league. We don't have a cup game until 2 weeks' time. We've got East Burgolt A. Hopefully, we'll carry on where we did on Saturday with a 2-1 win. Yeah,
Claydon on 12, Burgolt are on 10. Both have played 7.
Yeah.
Do you extend the gap? Do you think?
If you look at the fixture itself, if we win, we could go possibly 3rd, 4th in the league. But again, if we lose, we could go down. Yeah. So it's just going to be a tough game. So I'm not going to give a result or anything because I've learned from that, and we've obviously won the last 2 games since having given a result or anything. So
okay. All right, we'll leave that to us. So as we close the show, Seg, what do you think? Claydon FC versus East Burgolt FC, A teams.
I want to say it'll be a violin, but I think it will. I reckon Claydon will win 4-1.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Seg, I don't know. If we look at East Burgolt's last results, they drew 1-1 with Leiston St Margaret's reserves. They've beaten Copplestonians 4-3. They narrowly got beat by Wickham Market reserves 2-1. They got beat by Leiston St Margaret's reserves 5-0 earlier in the season. Do you know what, Dan? How are your strikers feeling this weekend at the moment? They feeling confident?
Yeah, well, our main striker's injured for 2 months.
Okay.
We didn't stop us from winning on Saturday, though. So.
No, I'm just looking at the results you're seeing. Burgolt do concede some goals. 6-1, they've got beat. 5-0, they've got beat. They've won 4-3. So they can score goals, but they also concede goals. So if you're around, get down to this ground because it's going to be a tasty fixture.
Yeah, definitely. Just making sure the supporters stay behind the line.
Yes, please. 0-0, I'm going to go for.
0-0, sit on the fence.
Always splinters in me. Anyway, right, we're done. We're dusted another week. See you Sunday, 9:15. We round up the local action and we have our teams trending up and we discuss all the local football with love, with care, from Dan to Tom to me. We'll see you all Sunday morning.
Cheers.
Yeah,
See you later.